like the last one, the last sentence.
You have a right to testify, and you can call witnesses to testify on your behalf, or you can remain silent.
Agreed. Thank you.
Now I must inform you, you are obliged to inform this court that whether you have any previous convictions or pending cases.
Agreed. Thank you.
If you have any pending cases, whether whether you were released on bail in those cases or pending cases.
Agreed. Thank you.
Whether you have any protection orders issued against you, either by the complainant or any other person.
Yes, agreed. Thank you.
You understand? So,
I understand.
whether you are now or when at the time of the commission of the alleged offense, a sentenced offender, subject to correctional supervision or parole. You understand that?
I understand.
Now, failure to disclose the said bail information constitutes a criminal offense for which, if convicted, you may be released, you may be sentenced rather to a period of imprisonment of up to 2 years or a fine of up to 80,000 rands.
I understand.
If you are released on bail and it later transpires that you were not honest about the said information, bail may be provisionally cancelled and forfeited, and a warrant for your arrest will be issued.
I understand.
Should you elect to testify, everything you say in these proceedings, apart from that information relating to previous convictions and pending cases, will form part of the trial proceedings.
I understand.
Now, you are not obliged to incriminate yourself.
I understand.
Now, Ms. Kwinana, since there is an indication that you are going to give him evidence, we have no objection in taking a dispatch vote?
No, I have no objections.
You swear that the evidence you shall give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. If that is so, then raise up your right hand and say so help me God.
Sorry, people.
Thank you, Worship. I will ask Ma'am Kwinana to please raise your voice so that the recordings in front of you can grasp what you are saying. Please inform this honorable court of your full date of birth.
Before we proceed, I think she has indicated that she does not require the services of the Indian. Now I want to establish whether that is still the case now with respect of the proceedings.
Indeed, Your Worship, it's still the case, but she's being assured with the microphone. Yes, ma'am.
21 July 1964.
And how old are you?
61 years old.
Kindly tell this honorable court of your place of residence.
I live at 76 Forest Avenue, Blue Valley Golf Estate, Centurion.
Do you have any alternative address in which you may be found?
I also live in Iskamu, Farm 1409, Yakhe location. That is where I am married. I also have my mother and my grandmother who live in my birthplace, Engobo, Manzana location.
Are those the three addresses that you have?
Yes.
And did you provide to the police the address in which you reside, permanently reside?
Yes, I provided the police, and in fact, I even sent them the location which they used when they arrested me.
So, in essence, you directed them to where you were on the day of arrest.
Yes.
And with whom do you reside in this addressment?
I reside with my husband and my 2 children, 28 and 24 years old.
And what type of dwelling is this? Is the structure? Is it a shack? Is it a flat? Is it a house that can be easily broken down where you can actually live and stay anywhere else?
It's a standalone house within a security estate.
And without repeating it, I've heard you said you are married.
I am married.
And how long have you been married?
For 28 years.
And also you said you have 2 children that you're staying with. Are those the only children you have?
I have another adult child, 42 years old, who does not live with us.
I hope I'm not rushing you. Are you currently employed, ma'am?
I am unemployed.
All right. And were you ever employed before?
Yes, I was employed in my company, Kwinana Capital.
All right. Do you have any assets of value, whether immovable or movable?
No, I do not have any assets of value.
All right. And you were warned when we were starting these proceedings, ma'am, of whether, in fact, you were warned of the declaring your previous convictions, if you have.
I have no previous convictions. I have one pending case.
All right. Do you mind telling this court what pending matter is that, and in which court is it appearing?
I have a pending case in Palm Ridge Commercial Crimes Court for the failure to disclose the conflict of interest with PwC and Gongi, who were the auditors of South African Airways. And the charge is that I failed to disclose my past relationship with them as the auditors.
Court. And that matter is still in process.
That, in fact, we have filed for the objection to the charge sheet, and the matter is reserved. It will be heard on the 12th of April.
All right. And in that matter, tell this court, are you out on bail or are you out on warning?
I am out on bail. I got a bail of 20,000 rand. That was sometime last year, I think in December, somewhere there.
All right. And you have been in attendance to the matter, am I wrong?
I have been in attendance to the matter, yes.
Any warrants of arrest that may be pending against you?
Not that I am aware of, because I was also not aware of the warrant of arrest when I was arrested on the 17th of March. So it may happen that there are surprise warrants of arrest which I am not aware of.
Thank you. Now, on the matter that which you are attending, which you know that you are attending, was there any warrant of arrest ever issued on your name?
Not that I was aware of.
You're right. Maybe for non-attendance, or having broken the conditions of the bail.
Not that I am aware of.
Thank you.
In fact, the reason why I am saying not that I am aware of is that 17th of March incident was such a surprise for me, because I would have come to the police station or to the court if I was required, because I am a law-abiding citizen. So that's why I'm saying not that I am aware of, because surprise can happen as it happened on the 17th of March.
All right. I want us to look at the case, just the brief synopsis of it. Can you still remember when you were arrested in Johannesburg on the 17th of March, what charges were said to be preferred against you?
I don't remember when I was snatched. I'm saying snatched because I was literally snatched. However, when I was signing some document at Sentin police station, there were 3 charges. It was malicious damage to property, it was extortion, and pointing with a firearm. Those were the 3 charges.
Do you own a firearm?
No, I don't.
I am just to piggyback the part of your answer where you just mentioned that you were literally snatched. Can you explain what were you meaning?
I'm meaning that when I called Sergeant Ledimo, when I called him to say you were supposed to, I was supposed to come and give a statement, or you were supposed to come to my place and give a statement. When are you coming? He said he can come on Thursday, 2 o'clock. I think it was Thursday when I called. And the reason why I called is because the previous week, he called and I said, I do not know him, but I can go to Fleet Street police station. As I do not know him, he never introduced himself. I can go to police station in the presence of warrant officer, and then he can be there. And then I communicated with warrant officer. He said he will call Sergeant Ledimo, with whom he is going to come to my place to take a statement. He did not call on that week. Hence, I called on a Thursday and said, when are you coming? And they said they can come on that Thursday. I said, but I need to arrange for my security because I do not know you. I don't know if you are going to kidnap me. I really do not know you. And I also need to arrange with my lawyer. So the date was agreed for the Monday, the 17th at 10 a.m.
I am not sure, Your Worship, if the court is still with us in recording you.
The question of snatching, my understanding is
Yeah.
she said that they can come on Thursday.
Thank you, Your Worship.
And she wanted to make sure that she arranges for security as well as his lawyer.
Thank you, Your Worship. Thank you, Your Worship.
Yes.
So you can take it from there.
Thank you.
No, the Sergeant Ledimo said he can come on a Thursday.
He said he can come on
On a Thursday. And then I said, I need to make an arrangement with the lawyer. And then we agreed that he will come on Monday at 10 a.m. on Monday. And after 10, when they did not arrive, around about 10:15, I called Sergeant Ledimo to say maybe you are getting lost. And then he said he will get back to me. And he came back and said at 11 o'clock. I called again at 11:15. And he said 12 o'clock. And then now my lawyer was saying, we can't wait forever. And another thing, when they
sorry,
said,
ma'am, before I interject, sorry for interjecting you. You mean to tell this honorable court that at all times material to these calls, your attorney in Johannesburg was with you?
yes, yes.
Do you mind mentioning the name of the attorney who was with you?
Miss Bandra were with me. Yes.
You may then proceed.
I called again at 11:15, and then they said they will be there before 12 o'clock. And the reason for them to be there was to take a statement. All this time, I was under the impression that they are going to come and take a statement. And as a result, I had prepared a table and had prepared my file, which I think is relevant for these charges, which I was going to take them through. To my surprise, they came and filled the whole house with with guns and with paragraphs. I was really so shocked that I thought I was being kidnapped. And then after they snatched me, we left, and then they said they are going to Sentin police station. And we arrived at Sentin police station where I was processed, and I slept at Sentin police station that night.
Okay, I just want to get some detail on when they arrived and with paragraphs and how did this whole thing happen? Can you explain the process to
Yes, myself and me and my lawyer were waiting upstairs, and my husband went to receive them downstairs. And then he took them to the library where we were going to meet, and where my file was and where the table was to take a statement. And then he came upstairs to pick us up. And then there was the whole lot of commotion downstairs, because they said, in fact, they did not even introduce themselves. They did not even show that they are real police. Hence, I was scared that I am being kidnapped.
All right. Were you handled in a manner that is peaceful?
No, it cannot be peaceful, because when we were saying what is happening exactly, they were already having the handcuffs to handcuff me. And then I resisted that, no, I need to make a statement. And then they pulled me to the car.
Don't you want to have a seat, ma'am?
No, I'm fine.
Thank you. About you being manhandled, do you have anything to show?
Of course, I have the bruises around here.
Not only in the area, am I correct that those bruises that you see, that you have shown even to the court, are not only on the area where the handcuffs were supposed to have been at the time of being handcuffed? They are all over your arm, am I correct?
Yes.
All right. Let's move. You can show the court. And you can show the other arm as well. Indulgence, Roger. Well, of course, I'm happy that you have at least probably painted the manner of your arrest, and you said that was on Monday, correct?
Yes, that was on Monday, and I was held at Sentin police station, and I was told that we are going to travel from Sentin police station to East London, where I would appear for the first time in East London on Wednesday, the 19th.
All right. Can you still recall the time that the police actually arrived in your house?
It's around about 10 to 12, somewhere there.
Was that midday or midnight?
That was midday.
Midday. On Monday.
On Monday.
Yes. I'm getting that from what you have narrated before this court that you were expecting to be at least in court on Wednesday, which was the 19th.
Yes.
All right.
In East London.
In
Court.
East London Court. And to your knowledge, is there anything that may have hindered the police to travel with you on Monday for you to be in East London on Tuesday?
Not that I am aware of.
All right. Now tell the court on Tuesday what happened.
On Tuesday, they came to pick me up, and we drove via Douglasdale Police Station.
Is the 19th?
Or Tuesday, the 18th.
18th.
Yes. We drove to Douglasdale Police Station, but I don't think there was anything related with me in that regard. From Douglasdale Police Station, we drove the whole night and arrived at police station, Fleet Street Police Station. And from Fleet Street Police Station, I did not get off. They took me to a female prison in West Bank, where we arrived at round about 7 in the morning. That was Wednesday morning.
Let's unpack this once more. You said they did their business with you. They did not drive straight with you from Johannesburg. They went to some other police stations to do their own businesses while you are in transit.
Yes, maybe the other thing that I left out. I was taken to Randbeck Court.
Yes.
Where basically I did not have any representation. And of course, the magistrate did ask if I need the legal aid. I said, no, I don't need the legal aid, because the information that I got was that I was going to appear here on Wednesday, and I had arranged with a lawyer to represent me here in East London on Wednesday, and that did not happen.
Thank you.
You were taken to the court on the 18th.
I was taken to Randbeck Court on the 18th, yes.
After the arrest of the 17th. Now you then traveled, and you arrived in East London. You said what time did you arrive at East London?
At round about 7 o'clock in female prison, West Bank.
No. Hear me well, ma'am. In East London, when you were taken to the Fleet Street Police Station, what time did you arrive there?
That was about shortly before 7, because we did not stay that long here at Fleet Street Police Station. Maybe we stayed for about 5 to 10 minutes. Then we went straight to prison.
Do you probably know the reason for the Randbeck Magistrate Court, or was there any reason echoed by the court for your appearance in East London?
The information that I got from the people who handled me was that in Randbeck, we are there to get the transit papers,
yes,
because they cannot take me from Johannesburg to East London without the transit papers. So I was really surprised when the Randbeck Magistrate Court said I am going to appear on the 24th here in East London, because my understanding was that I was going to appear the following day, being the 19th.
All right. Now, you were received by the Correctional Service in East London on the female section on the 19th.
Yes, on the 19th.
And you stayed there, I assume, until
this morning.
until Monday morning when you first appeared in court.
Yes.
Am I all right?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm happy that you have painted that part of your arrest and your stay in custody. Now, the charges. In East London, you appear on 2 charges. The malicious damage to property and the extortion. Do you know what happened to the 3rd charge?
No, I don't know.
Of course, you may not know because you are a subject of these charges. Ma'am, tell this court your reasons for wanting to be released out on bail.
The first reason, in fact, there are many reasons, but those charges I will prove beyond reasonable
You want to say doubt?
yes, that those charges will be are not valid. I don't know how to say in legal terms, but these are frivolous charges, and I will prove beyond reasonable doubt that they are frivolous, and therefore I really cannot stay in court for the charges that I am going to prove, and I cannot stay in prison for the charges that I am going to prove beyond reasonable doubt. And in fact, had the NPA investigated, they would have got the eviction order that says demolish. And had the NPA investigated the extortion, they would have understood that there was an agreement with my tenants that they are going to pay, and in fact they did pay. And I have got the witnesses in respect of them agreeing to pay. So basically, those charges are so frivolous for me. That is number one, my reason for wanting the bail. The other.
Wait, ma'am, just there. I'm happy that we're stretching it, but it's okay. I'm happy with it. You said on the charges of malicious injury to property, you have a court order that so states that you must remove, demolish and remove structures in your property.
That's what it says.
And this property is yours?
This property is ours, yes.
Oh, thank you. On the charges of extortion.
So you're saying the court order was in respect of removal?
The malicious,
Demolition of the structure?
yes, demolition and removal of the structures.
Yes.
Thank you, Worship. At this juncture, Your Worship, it is my application to hand in a copy of the court order in respect of what my client, Your Worship, is talking about. Any objection? Thank you, Worship.
No objection.
May I be granted leave to hand it in, Your Worship? Then. Thank you.
In addition in addition to the court order that you have, Your Worship, this very same court, I don't mean this one, but the harassment court, we went to the harassment court. This harassment court ruled that the illegal occupiers must pay 70,000 per month. That was the ruling. Now, they must pay in the property that they are occupying, because in that property we are paying rates, and then the rates would be loaded with illegal connections, electricity connections and water connections. So when we talked with the community, they understood, because I got them to understand that this is what I am paying for in respect of this farm. That is excluding the amount of the money that we paid to apply for the eviction order. And when few of them who acted with, like, as if they are all of them, which was not all of them, they went to court, and that case was heard, and the magistrate ruled that they pay 70,000. Now, I am here to see how the other court would say this is extortion, whereas the same court said the people must pay. So I really do not know how the extortion would be proved.
What happened to the harassment case?
The harassment court case was dismissed. I think that was in February. The harassment court was dismissed.
Thank you. Your Worship, with me, Your Worship, I have a copy of what may be the court's ruling on the matter in which my client has testified about. Thank you, Worship. I crave for leave, Your Worship, to submit say.
Copy of the harassment orders and mark 16B.
And now there's an issue about extortion. And I understand it is a buzzword now in South Africa. And it has seen the loss of life of people who are alleged to be extortionists, and I believe the serious one. How do you feel about the charges of you being called an extortionist now? You are now an extortion.
Of course, this whole matter has got an effect of damaging my good reputation. And to be called an extortionist at this day and age, it also poses a risk on my life, where people would believe that I am an extortionist, and I may even be killed because of being labeled as an extortionist.
If I see a perfect picture of what you have tried to paint before this court, is that the people who are occupying your place, your land, are the ones now over an agreement that you had with them in a meeting to say that they need to pay rent. are the ones that are calling you an extortionist, or you are now charged for an extortion. Is that what you are telling this court?
Yes.
Now, tell this court, how do you intend to plead on these charges in a court where this matter will be arraigned?
I will definitely plead not guilty
To one charge or both of them?
to both of them.
Yes. And I do want to believe that you have at least tried to show how, without hiding any of your ace cards on your chest.
Yes.
Thank you. Your state of health, ma'am, how are you?
Of course, due to my age, I am not that well. I have sometimes a short breath, especially in places where people are smoking. So, and also when I am under pressure, I do have the short breath. And yes, of course, like women issues like isigulo nje sabafazi.
Any experience in the period of your incarceration?
Yes, I did experience the short breath. I did experience some bit of dizziness. Yes.
And how has that affected you right now?
Of course, I am emotionally drained, and health-wise, of course, prison is not a good place to be at, especially for a law-abiding citizen like me.
A requirement is needed on a bail where interest of justice needed to be shown before any court. I will now refer you to the provisions of Section 64A to E. I will enumerate to you and ask if you will abide or not. Should you then be released out on bail, will you endanger the safety of the public or any particular person, or commit another offense while out on bail?
At the moment, as I said, I am out on bail with Palm Ridge Magistrates Court, and that bail was awarded last year, and I haven't breached any conditions of that bail. And as I said, I am a law-abiding citizen. If given the bail, I will be here again at the time that I am required to be here.
Will you attempt to evade your trial?
I just want to get a specific answer. Are you going to endanger the safety of the public or any other person?
No, I will not be able to do so. And in fact, Your Worship, I do not even have capacity to do that.
Thank you, that is satisfying. Will you attempt to evade your trial?
No, definitely not.
If you are then released on bail, will you attempt to influence or intimidate the witnesses in this matter, or conceal or even destroy any evidence?
So on the question of whether or not she's going to evade the trial, I'm not sure whether you're still going to mention whether or not she's in possession of the passport.
Yes, Your Worship, I was going there.
No.
maybe that the court has now given, let me just ask that. Do you have any passport, ma'am?
I have a passport that is kept by NPA.
Already in the hands of the state? If you then released ma'am out on bail, will you attempt to influence or intimidate the witnesses, conceal or destroy any evidence to be used by the state? I know you may not know the evidence to be used.
I will not do that.
Will you undermine or jeopardize the objectives of the justice system or bail conditions?
No, definitely not.
Will you disturb the public peace, order, security, or undermine it?
No.
I heard you said you're unemployed.
Yes.
If bail can be set, the court be inclined to grant bail in this matter, how much can you afford?
2,000 rand.
And who will be paying?
My husband.
All right. I see you look in court. Is he here?
Is here. Yes.
All right. Do you think is there anything that I may have left out, which you may wanted me to say, to ask you?
No, I think you have covered everything.
Or maybe before that, as per instruction earlier on, I heard you mentioned that there are people who are even ready, or who may even come to witness that indeed there was an agreement made amongst the members or the community members in the farm in which you said it has been occupied.
Yes, they are also here.
Are they also here in court?
Yes.
You said that they are ready to testify in your favor.
They are ready to testify to my bail, and they are also ready to confirm that there was an agreement, because that agreement was decided in a meeting, properly constituted meeting.
Your Worship, with this witness, I am done. Thank you.
Yes, Worship. State just has a few questions, Worship. Mrs. Kwinana, you mentioned that you have no assets of value, is that correct?
Yes, I have no assets of value.
And are you familiar with a company called Slipknot Investments 74 Pty Ltd?
Yes.
Are you Slipknot Investments 74 Pty Ltd, Your Worship?
Yes, I
Are you affiliated with that company in any way?
I don't know what you mean by affiliation, but that is a family business company. I am the secretary of that company.
Are you a director of the company? Just the secretary?
I'm not a director, I'm the secretary of the company.
Do you have shares in the company?
No, I don't have shares.
You do not. Okay. Secondly, you mentioned that you have a pending case of failure to disclose to the PwC your affiliation with them. Is that correct?
Yes.
However, ma'am, the charge which we are aware of is that of fraud. Can you please explain the inconsistency between that?
Yes. In fact, I am happy that you cannot link that failure to disclose and fraud. And that is exactly the reason why we have applied for the objection in court, which will be held in April. because the failure to disclose the previous interest, in which case we tendered with PwC in one other company, and that company, we did not even get that tender, which was the past relationship. That is what they said, it's fraud. And hence we are laying an objection to the charge sheet being fraud, because failure to disclose does not meet the elements of the fraud, especially that I did not benefit, or I did not benefit from their involvement at SAA, and then now it is called fraud. Hence we have laid an objection which will be held on the 12th of April.
And you mentioned that on the day you were arrested, which was the 17th of March, where were you on that day?
I was at my house in Blue Valley.
With whom were you there with?
I was with my lawyer and my husband.
Okay. And you mentioned that the police, you didn't know there were police at the time when they arrived, is that correct? What vehicles were they traveling in? Were they marked vehicles, unmarked vehicles?
I cannot confirm the vehicles that they were driving because of the way they did things. However, the security gate can confirm what vehicles they were driving.
Did you see the vehicles at any point in time?
Yes, because I was putting the vehicle, so I saw the vehicles. But the way I was taken and snatched, I cannot confirm what type of vehicles they are, and I even cannot confirm how many they are, because without clearly, what are you going to do when you are snatched?
May you please just use one language, ma'am, for the record. You're going to confuse it. Thank you. The reason I ask this question is it's a simple question, ma'am. Did you see the vehicles when you're being taken? Were there any police brandings on them?
I can't remember. I don't know.
So you couldn't see the SAP as the big bright letters on the car? You couldn't at that point in time? Okay. Were the police officers, the alleged police officers, were they wearing uniform on the day, or were they dressed in casual clothes?
I don't know, but they were wearing, most of them were wearing navy clothes with brown or navy balaclavas. So that's what I can remember.
And none of them had any police insignia or any indication that they were the police?
I can't remember.
Do you remember the clothing of the one who must have attended to you?
The one who said he is Gavan or something, which I later found out in sending that he is Javan. I think Javan, yes. I think he was wearing brown clothes.
Brown clothes.
Mm.
And you mentioned that you stay in an estate.
Yes.
Prior to the police having entered, they would have to have passed the gate, is that correct?
Yes.
What did they tell the people at the gate? Who were they?
I was not there. I was not with them when they got in. So I don't know what did they tell the security.
But prior to them entering the estate, would they not have to be granted permission by the person whom they're going to see?
They did not. They did not ask for the gate code from me.
What I'm asking, ma'am, is that do you have security at the gate?
Yes.
So your security never informed you that there were people who are asking to be given access to your compound?
No, they never informed me, but they were there in front of my house, the security police.
So your answer is basically that the police were just given access, you were never informed, they just arrived in front of your house. Is that what you say?
I don't know if they were not given access at the gate. I am not the security guard of Blue Valley Golf Estate, so I don't know how did they enter. I cannot say they were not given access or they were given access. I really do not know.
And you mentioned that you sustained bruising
Yes,
during the time when you were being arrested, is that correct?
yes,
And you also mentioned in the same breath that you resisted being taken away.
yes, because I did not know that I would be taken away. I knew that I was going to give the statement. I did not know, and I was asking, why am I being taken away? Because the understanding is that I was going to give a statement. So that's why I resisted. That's number one. Number two, those people were so scary. Like if a person is wearing a paraglove, you can't even identify who the person is. And in fact, I really thought that I was being kidnapped.
Okay. And let's just go back a little bit. You mentioned that the person whom had called you from the police, did he introduce himself as a police officer to you?
Le Dimo did not introduce himself as a police. Hence, that was previous, like when we were arranging if they are going to come. He did not introduce himself as a police. When he first called from the farm, I said to the security guard, let him call using his phone. And his phone, my true caller, indicated that it is Sergeant Ledimo. That is how I got to know that it's Sergeant Ledimo. Then I said I can only meet with him if I meet with Fleet Street police station. Any person from police station, but the person that I mentioned is Gowi, because at some stage I went to make a statement with Gowi. Gowi called and said, there's a case against you. When can you present yourself to the police station to make a statement? I did go to make a statement. I said to Sergeant Ledimo, I do not know you. Let me, please make an arrangement to see me in the presence of Warrant Officer Gowi, because Warrant Officer Gowi, I went to his office, and therefore I can confirm that he is a policeman.
When did the communication between you and Warrant Officer Gowi take place?
That was maybe, I would say, maybe a week or 2 weeks before the 17th.
A week or two before the 17th.
Mm.
And you mentioned that you had made a statement.
No, I did not make a statement.
Okay. And on the day when the police entered your compound, was Mr. Modimo there?
I don't know. There were many of them. And at the time, I did not even know who he is. So I would not say he was there or he was not there. Because there were many, maybe about 15 or 16 of them. Maybe one of them was him, or maybe he was not there. I really cannot say he was there or he was not there.
Okay. Let us move along, ma'am, to the reasons for you wanting bail. And you said that your first reason was that the charges aren't valid, as well as the fact that they are frivolous. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you mentioned that you had gotten an eviction order to demolish the properties which are at the Ebongwena location in 2020. Is that correct?
Yes.
Did you ever appear in front of the High Court of South Africa here in the East London Circuit Court?
East London?
Circuit Court.
East London Court? Which court?
The East London Circuit Court, the High Court here in East London. Have you ever appeared before it?
I've appeared many times.
Many times. And are you also aware that there was an interdict which was granted against you to not demolish the houses on your land?
I am aware of that interdict by the Honorable Hati. However, that interdict did not nullify the Judge Malusi interdict, the 2020 interdict.
It does, ma'am.
Then that's...
It does, ma'am, due to the fact that your application had happened in 2020 and you were subsequently interdicted in 2024, meaning that any procedure or any rights that you were given under the previous order are interdicted in 2024.
Then
Did they not explain that to you?
that is a subject of different interpretations. I
Were
still maintain that Judge Malusi 2020 order was not nullified by the interim interdict. And another thing, that interim interdict, it is still in process. We are going to court on 21 of July.
Were you legally represented in any of your application as well as this application by the residents?
No, I don't have money to be legally represented. The reason being that there was, in my land where I was paying rates, as I said, where they are using illegal electricity, illegal water, and me paying rates. So I did not have the legal representation.
Was it not explained to you that upon granting this interim interdict, you are not allowed to further demolish any properties on your land?
That is a matter for discussion, and that is a matter for the different interpretations.
I do believe you can answer this question, and it's a simple yes or no. Was it explained that you must not proceed with the demolition of the houses?
No, it did not say I must not proceed with the demolition. It did not say.
At this juncture, Your Worship, the state is giving the defense a chance to look at the interdict.
Can I also have a copy of Hartley's judgment? I just want to read this paragraph that you say. It said I must not continue with demolitions.
I believe it's point 2.1, and if possible, could you just read it into the record?
I still confirm that this is not saying I must not proceed with demolition.
May you read
Let
it into
me
the
read
record?
it for you, Your Worship. The first one is saying, declaring that the removal of the applicants from their home at portion 11 farm 925 by the first, second, and third respondents constitute unlawful eviction. It does not, in this paragraph, there is nothing that says I must stop demolition.
I
And
understand
then the
that.
second one, directing the first, second, and third respondent forthwith unlock access gates of portion 11 of farm 925 and to allow applicants to return to their homes on the land. There is no stopping of demolition on number 2. Interdicting and restraining first, second, and third respondents from threatening interfering with and subjecting the applicants to acts of intimidation and unlawful eviction. There is nothing that says I must stop demolishing. The second last one, interdicting and restraining the first, second, and third respondent from advertising and renting the applicant's structures out while the applicants are still occupying them or without the consent of the applicants. The last one, first and second respondents are ordered to pay the cost of this application on the scale as between party and jointly and severally. I mean, really, I cannot see any stopping of demolition in these four sentences.
Let us go back to 2.1 now, where it says, declaring that the removal of the applicants from their homes at portion 11 of Form 925 by the first, second, and third respondents constitutes unlawful eviction. Would you agree with me, ma'am, that if you were to demolish someone's house, they would have nowhere to stay?
Those questions now on this order.
Indulgence, Your Worship, apologies. May, at this point in time.
Yes. It's not before me.
Court, please, Your Worship. With leave of the court, Your Worship, may the state submit.
No objection.
None, Your Worship.
Said court order. The resolutions are presented in marked Exhibit C.
Yes. Would you agree with me, ma'am, that if you demolish someone's home, they have nowhere to stay?
Correct?
If you demolish someone's home, they would have nowhere to stay.
We are here talking about demolition. You said that Judge Hartley's order is saying I must not demolish, and I have proved to you beyond reasonable doubt that the 5 rule misses that are there do not say I must not demolish.
I understand, ma'am, but may you please answer this one question. Would you agree with me that if you were to demolish someone's home, they would have nowhere to stay?
Your Worship,
They will have somewhere to stay because before they stayed there, where were they staying before? And in fact, between 2020 and 2024, they would have got alternative accommodation. So for you to say they would have nowhere to stay is not correct.
So you agree with me that
They would have somewhere to stay.
Your Worship, I stand to object, Your Worship, to the line of question. This court is not here. It's not sitting here to listen to the interpretation of the orders of the court. What my client has told this court is that this interim order that is before court today has not in any way set aside the decision of the previous court, which says my client can demolish and remove the structures that are in the piece of land. This is still, Your Worship, an interim order, and a return date to enforce its finality has not been attended to. Thank you, Worship.
Where are you going with the question?
yes, Your Worship, the state is just going to the fact that by demolishing the homes of the residents, it is quite clear that they will have to leave the area and have nowhere to stay, Your Worship, which is in line with 2.1, the removal of the applicants at their homes. Because if you destroy the house, they have nowhere to go. They have to leave.
I would apply as Section 64 now is consent.
This court, please, Your
How do
Worship.
you relate to what you are about?
I will get there, Your Worship.
Your Worship, indulgence, my client, Your Worship, wishes to attend to the call of nature. You may ask for
Time now is almost 25 to 12.
25 to 12. Yes, Your Worship. 5 to 10
5 minutes.
5 minutes, Your Worship. Thank you.
What is adjourned until?
What's